Income tax raids on Wednesday, more than 100 premises searched at 50 locations across the country. Under the scanner are registered, unrecognized political parties, their entities and operators, and all this happening as part of a tax evasion probe at the recommendation of no other but the Election Commission. But why now is what everyone is wondering. Sources within the income tax have told me that Election Commission recently had struck off about 87 entities from its list of unrecognized political parties after they were found non-existent during a physical verification. And that's exactly the reason of these searches being carried out at Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Maharashtra and few other states. Poll panel says that it has acted against more than 2,100 registered and unrecognized political parties for flouting the rules and election laws. For example, they've not been able to file their monetary contributions. They've failed to furnish addresses and the list of their office bearers. Poll panel also says that there have been instances of serious financial improprieties. All this is the version coming from the Income Tax and the Election Commission. But what you're seeing and hearing is just one part of a larger design, and let me explain you that. You must carefully see who all have been targeted during these raids, and then you would have an idea on the exact design of the government. And I'm going to give you examples one by one. The first example is the survey conducted at the Center for Policy Research, which is a Delhi-based think tank. Second example is that of a philanthropic organization called Independent and Public Spirited Media Organization, that is IPSMF, based in Bangalore. It was raided and surveyed yesterday because of the alleged financial irregularities. It's the same organization that partly funds digital media outlets like Print, Caravan and Swaraj. Now remember, Caravan recently questioned a probe report that cleared PM Narendra Modi's role in the Gujarat riots. Currently, the chairperson of IPSMF is a renowned journalist, T.S. Nayanan. Its trustees include Amol Palekar. Its donors are Azim Premji, Nandan Nilekani and Godrej. And Pratap Bhanu Mehta, once upon a time, was also heading this organization, and Pratap Bhanu Mehta was seen as a vocal critic of the government. The third organization is Oxfam, which is a non-profit organization under Section 8 of the Companies Act. It's been existing in India since 1951, and if you look at its website carefully, it's involved in knowledge building, public campaigning, disaster relief and few more activities. So whether it is Center for Policy Research, Oxfam or IPSMF, government doesn't tolerate any sort of criticism. It wants the media to toe its line. It wants the NGOs to carry out the agendas of the government, and if anyone dares to go against the government will ensure that they are raided by the investigative agencies. Government will ensure that they weaken the organization and destroy all what they have done. Amongst the raids yesterday, a number of infrastructure companies were also targeted. To give you one example, Megha Infrastructure Private Limited. It is the same organization which handled TRS government's Kaleshwaram irrigation project. So the political messaging is very clear to the opposition parties who are gearing up for 2024 polls, and also to the donors that whoever is funding the opposition parties will have agencies at their doorstep. Congress has also begun its Bharat Jodo Yatra, and along with Congress are also about 207 members of the civil society who are embarking on this foot march. So there is a clear message for the media personnel, for the NGOs, for the think tanks, and the government is trying to intimidate all of them. And all this is happening with a high moral grandstanding by the BJP alleging financial irregularities, but the design is something else. But I leave you with this question, then why are these raids happening now? BJP, of course, will put itself on a high horse and play out the narrative of zero tolerance for corruption. But can the opposition expose BJP on how it has weaponized its investigating agencies is something to watch out for.